gigantic tanks to hold hydrogen in liquid form, or a very powerful pressure vessel to hold it in gaseous form, in which case tanks even bigger. It is a deep cryogen, only liquid at close to absolute zero, so maintaining it in liquid form is incredibly difficult.
Are you ready for a ride into the future of transportation? Today, we're diving into one of the most debated topics in the world of sustainable vehicles, hydrogen cars, and who better to give us an unfiltered perspective on this subject than the visionary entrepreneur Elon Musk. In this video, we'll be delving deep into the mind of the man who's changing the game when it comes to sustainable transportation. We'll explore Elon Musk's candid opinions on hydrogen cars, examining the pros and cons of this alternative fuel source, and how it compares to the electric vehicles he's known for championing. Get ready for an insightful, informative, and dramatic discussion that promises to shake up your perspectives on the future of transportation. As we all know, Elon Musk is not afraid to speak his mind, and when it comes to the subject of hydrogen cars, he has not held back. Let's have a look at Elon Musk's unfiltered opinion on hydrogen cars. Hydrogen cars, also known as fuel cell vehicles, are cars that run on hydrogen gas instead of gasoline. They use hydrogen fuel cells to convert hydrogen gas into electricity, which then powers the car's electric motor. Hydrogen fuel cells work by combining hydrogen gas with oxygen from the air. The resulting chemical reaction produces electricity, water, and heat. The electricity powers the car's electric motor, and the water is released as a byproduct. Elon Musk's opinion on hydrogen cars. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, has been pretty vocal about his thoughts on hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. He's not a fan, to say the least. He described them as full cells and mind-bogglingly stupid. He believes that the technology is inefficient, expensive, and impractical compared to battery electric vehicles. One of Musk's main arguments against hydrogen fuel cell vehicles is that they are less efficient than battery electric vehicles. According to Musk, hydrogen fuel cells require a large amount of energy to produce, transport, and store hydrogen gas, which makes them less efficient than electric vehicles that can be charged directly from renewable energy sources like solar or wind. Musk has also criticized the infrastructure required for hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, arguing that it is expensive to build and maintain hydrogen refueling stations. He has also expressed concerns about the safety of hydrogen, stating that it is highly flammable and requires special handling and storage procedures. In addition, Musk has pointed out that hydrogen fuel cell vehicles face technical challenges such as slow refueling times, limited driving range, and high production costs. He believes that these limitations make hydrogen fuel cell vehicles impractical for widespread use. Musk's vision for sustainable transportation is centered around electric vehicles powered by renewable energy sources. He believes that electric vehicles are the best solution for reducing carbon emissions from transportation, and that hydrogen fuel cell vehicles are an unnecessary distraction from this goal. Musk has been a strong advocate for the transition to renewable energy sources and has made significant investments in the development of electric vehicles, batteries, and solar energy. He believes that the widespread adoption of electric vehicles will lead to a more sustainable future, and that hydrogen fuel cell vehicles have no place in this future. Is Elon Musk right or wrong to dismiss hydrogen cars? So is Elon Musk right or wrong to dismiss hydrogen cars? Well, let's break it down. On one hand, Musk makes some valid arguments against hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. He says they're less efficient than electric vehicles, and the infrastructure required to support them is expensive and potentially dangerous. Plus, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles have technical challenges that make them less practical for widespread use. But on the other hand, there are counter-arguments to Musk's dismissal of hydrogen cars. For example, some experts argue that hydrogen fuel cells are actually more efficient than batteries when it comes to storing energy. And while it's true that building and maintaining hydrogen refueling stations can be costly, proponents of hydrogen cars argue that the technology is still in its early stages and that costs will come down as it becomes more widespread. So, are hydrogen fuel cells really as dumb as Musk says? Not necessarily. While the technology certainly has its limitations, there are some benefits to using hydrogen as a fuel source. For example, hydrogen is abundant and can be produced using renewable energy sources like solar or wind. And while there are safety concerns associated with storing and transporting hydrogen, there are already safety protocols in place to mitigate these risks. Now let's talk about future of sustainable transportation. Elon Musk's vision for the future of sustainable transportation is centered around electric vehicles powered by renewable energy sources. He believes that electric cars are the best solution to reducing greenhouse gas emissions and combating climate change. Musk has invested heavily in electric vehicle technology through his company Tesla and is working to make electric cars more accessible and affordable for the average consumer. The role of hydrogen cars in the future is still uncertain. While some experts believe that hydrogen fuel cells have potential as an alternative fuel source, others are skeptical about the technology's scalability and practicality. However, there are some niche applications where hydrogen fuel cells may be better suited than electric vehicles, such as heavy-duty transportation or backup power systems. Other alternative fuel sources and technologies that could play a role in the future of sustainable transportation include biofuels, compressed natural gas, and even solar-powered vehicles. Each of these options has its own unique benefits and challenges, and it's likely that a combination of different technologies will be needed to meet our transportation needs while also reducing our environmental impact. Ultimately, the future of sustainable transportation will depend on continued innovation and investment in new technologies, as well as changes in consumer behavior and government policies. While there is still a long way to go, there is reason for optimism as we work towards a more sustainable and equitable transportation system. Elon Musk's unfiltered opinion on hydrogen cars is much needed because it challenges the status quo and encourages innovation. Musk is not afraid to speak his mind and question established norms, and this attitude has helped him to push the boundaries of what's possible. Fans appreciate this approach because it inspires them to think outside the box and consider new solutions to complex problems. Musk's unfiltered opinion on hydrogen cars is a valuable contribution to the ongoing debate around sustainable transportation. While there are valid arguments both for and against hydrogen fuel cells, Musk's criticism of the technology and his emphasis on electric vehicles have helped to shape the conversation and drive progress in the industry. Whether or not hydrogen cars become a mainstream technology remains to be seen, but the conversation is an important one to have as we work towards a more sustainable future. Let's continue to explore new technologies, challenge the status quo, and work together to build a cleaner, greener world for generations to come. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching.